Okay, so this is going to be a pretty random video that I just want to share with you what is the thought that I have. Because this afternoon when I was having a lunch with my colleagues, so one of them actually asked me like, "Hey Joshua, right now you are 29 years old and within just a year you are going to turn 30 years old. What do you think?" And without a second thought, I asked him like, "What do you mean by what do I think? Is there anything special that I need to be aware of when I was at 30? He said, no, because 30 it's a whole new stage for most of the people. So he's just trying to understand what is my view on that. So it's kind of obvious that they treat the age of 30 years old like another milestone, another stage in their life. Most people would expect something different, like a huge change when they hit 30 years old. For example, if they don't have a business, they would expect, okay, by the age of 30, I'm going to have a business. If they don't have a boyfriend, girlfriend, or wife, or husband, they're going to expect that by the age of 30, I need to get myself one. If let's say right now they are just working as an engineer, they would expect that by the age of 30, they want to become a manager. If I really thought about that, 30 years old, it's not really scary, it's not really comfortable. So it's just another stage that I will be reaching soon. So I thought that, okay, in this video, I'm going to share with you what are the 30 lessons that I learned before turning 30 years old. But bear with me, it's a long list and I really have to look at the list that I've just written it out. So yep, let's begin. So the first tip is communication is king. There's one thing that I constantly remind myself and I constantly remind friends around me is that if you are good in communications, there's just no way that you couldn't survive in this society nowadays. And of course, if you can communicate well, there's just so much more opportunity you can have in your life. And number two, being confident is not a skill that you are born with. It is a learnable skill. And of course, I did a couple of videos to share about what is the reason that you are not being confident and what is the way and what is the solutions that you can actually counter that. So check them out somewhere here. And the number three is never live up to someone's expectations. The only reason we want to live up to somebody's expectation is because we care about what the others think about us more than what we really thought about ourselves. So ponder around that. So number four is to willing to take risks. If there's something that you really want to try it out, by all means, go for it. And the number five is don't even bother too much about what others people think about you. Because living in this society nowadays, everyone are constantly judging the others. So since they are constantly judging everyone, so why even care about what do they have to say about you? Number six, getting a right wife is extremely important. I mean, if you are getting a life partner who are not supporting in doing what you are doing and not really having a goal that is aligned to your direction, to your life directions, it's better not to have one. So of course, I'm glad to say that I got myself a really great wife. And number seven is to brush up your sales ability, because everything in this world is about sales. Whether you want to get a job, you want to get a wife, you want to start a business, everything is sales. So without the capability to sell, it just kind of restricts your potential to growth. That's what I think. And number seven is that being alone doesn't mean that you are lonely. And number eight, appreciate the time with your family. Never forget the time that you can actually spend together with your family. And number 10, you are unique. Alright? Everyone in this world has their own unique capability. Maybe he's good in drawing, but you are not. And that's okay. Because maybe you are good in, let's say, singing, but he's not. So be yourself, be unique. And 11, take control of your life. I mean, quite often that people see that, okay, well, this is something happened to you, then if I experience that, I'm going to assume that, okay, well, it's pretty normal because everyone else has experienced that. So even though that's not something that you want, you will just go along the flow because you thought that everyone's is the same. Like, why are you so special to have a privilege? But what I learned over the time is that you need to learn how to take control of your life. If there's not something that you want and you really want to fight hard for that. And number 12, learn to be silent. Well, if there's something that the moment you say it out is not going to be beneficial for you, learn to be silent. And number 13, act silly. It's not always good to stand out and, like just trying to shine in front of everybody. So sometimes act blur, act silly, it's a way for you to survive, maybe in your corporate job. Number 14, never ever try to revenge. Sometimes you just hate someone so much that you are constantly trying to figure out a way how to make them look bad and how to get them into trouble. But over the time, you are just going to clog up your mind with all the negativity, and that's not going to serve you any good. And number 15, read more books. So this is the habits that I picked up, I think about three years ago. And I could honestly say that it helps me so much, whether is it in my career, in my business, or even in my life. So read more books. So number 16, wake up at 5 a.m. It's not going to make you successful if you are not doing what you are supposed to do. Number 17, invest in yourself. Of course, I'm not saying that you shouldn't invest in stocks or real estate and other kind of investment, but knowing that invest in yourself is going to generate the most return on investment. And number 18, spend good money on good products. I'll give you an example. If you bought a cheap shoes for, let's say, $100, and then over the time you realize that, okay, this is not good, like I should have bought the $300 shoes instead. And then you go and buy another 300 shoes. So instead of spending $300, you are actually spending $400 simply because you're trying to save a couple bucks. So spend good money on good quality products. And number 19 is ask for what you are deserved. If you think that you deserve a higher pay, if you think that you deserve an increment, if you think that you deserve a better title, stand up and have a discussion with your management, all right? But of course, bring something to the table and not just go and ask for something without giving anything back at all. That's not how it works. And number 20 is to exercise more. There's one old saying that your second half of life is depending on how well you invest in your health when you are young. So think about that. So number 21 is, of course, to try more things. So I still remember there's one conversation that I brought up with my friends is that the only reason people are not able to figure out what is the thing that they're passionate about is because they haven't yet tried enough things. So try more things, figure out what is the thing that you like, be passionate about it, and make results from that. Number 22, focus on your strength but not your weakness. So you see, very often we focus about our weakness. What is the thing that I did bad? What is the thing that I'm not good at? But instead, you should be really focused on what you are good at. For example, I know that my maths is terrible, so I don't care about it, alright? But I know that my communication skill is strong, so I focus on communication skill and really try to work on it to improve on that so that I can achieve a better result. Number 23, change your environment, and that includes your family members, your co-workers, and your friends. Knowing that a bad environment is going to pull you down and a good environment is going to bring you all the way to success. And number 24 is to start a business. Whether you are working on your 9-to-5 job or whether you are not working on a 9-to-5 job, it doesn't matter. Build a business. Number 25, saving pennies is not going to make you rich. So what you should really focusing on is not how to save more money, but instead, how to generate more money. So number 26 is, if there's a job that is constantly draining your energy or even affecting your personal life, leave. And number 27, this is the one of the key, like it is okay to switch your job every 2 to 3 years. Of course, I know in the market, some people is going to tell you that, oh, if let's say you want to achieve a huge success, stick within the job, stay over 5 or 10 years or even 15 years, and you are going to make good results from that. But based on the research that I've done, it's not entirely true. If you think that you deserve a better opportunity, go for it. And number 28 is to travel more. The world is so big that whenever you start traveling, you're going to see something different. I mean, the food is different, the culture is different, the people that you're going to meet there is different. Time is limited, travel more. And number 29 is to manage your finance well. It's never too early to start managing your finance, but it is always too late when you realize that you are jumping into a financial trouble and there's really nothing much else you can do. So manage your finance well as soon as possible, as early as possible. And number 30, which is the last one, is to make more money. So it's just like what I shared in the previous video. Money might or might not get you happiness, but one thing I'm sure is that money can get you a different way to experience your life. So this is a pretty long video, and if you learned anything about it, comment below and let me know what you have learned. Until then, let's be more successful.